It is my estimation that it is true of the majority of people that it is very hard for them to go against the grain, to criticize large, accepted, ingrained institutions, sacred cows of our societies. And in particular, I think it is very difficult for people to even muster the courage to speak out in a positive, healthy, healing way against the monstrosity that is organized religion, and in particular, the Christian organized religion. There is this syndrome known as RTS, religious trauma syndrome. If anyone doubts my words, the damage that this monstrosity has been responsible for, then look into that. I'm sure there's many out there who hear this message that have their own experiences. I myself was raised in a Catholic school, or went to Catholic school, and I was very mystic from a very early age. I won the prayer writing contest while I was in first grade for the entire Catholic school. I mean, my prayer went against the kids in sixth grade. At third grade, I was identified by the Irish Catholic priest that I was a mystic, even at that age, because I was having visions and telling them about all these visions, and I was, it was preordained, if you will, that I was to be a priest. Well, that didn't work out. But most people find it difficult to speak up against the damage that Christianity in an organized institution has been responsible for. My path, as I matured, and fortunately, my parents, in particular my mother, was a guide for me. But I went into music. I had a love of music, and I went right into heavy metal music at a very early age. But along with that, I read voraciously. And was very inquisitive, and in particular it was religion and spirituality that fascinated me from day one. And I mean, when I was reading Lord of the Rings and Dune, Frank Herbert's Dune, that was reality to me. I knew no difference. Fortunately, I didn't have any filters, and I mean, I was reading the same fantastical stuff in Catholic school, what they were telling me about religion, so it was no different reading Lord of the Rings or what Frank Herbert was talking about. So fortunately, it all went into my subconscious, and it has the same validity on any levels. But my point with this video is, most people find it very difficult to criticize or go against the grain. That last video I made, Jesus did not die for your sins, that's tame. Like, as I said, as my music interest grew and I got off into metal, I mean, I had a death metal band, and but I did ask the singer who wrote the lyrics to shy away from, as much as he saw artistically feasible, away from the whole satanic theme. But I was among people who were reacting against Christianity, and they were rebelling and through their own ways, through things like music, and in particular in death metal, black metal music, which a lot of these bands had heavily overtly satanic themes. But see, my perspective was I would challenge those people because I believe they were caught up in the Christian paradigm. And I would have, many interactions with the bands that we played with. I had my band Abythos, but and I would look at these guys and talk to them and say, well, they were, these big Satanists, and I would say, well, you guys realize that you're still Christians, right? And they would go, what, huh? I said, no, yeah, well, you're just the reactionary part of that whole Christian mythology. You're whatever. But my point is, it's very difficult. I'm the opposite. Most people find it hard to get the courage to criticize Christianity or go against the grain or say things like Jesus didn't die for your sin, because they know the reaction from people, and it's still, they have the program in their mind. They're not convinced, that they don't have the courage within, they don't have the gnosis within to fully realize and see through all of that as brainwashing programming, enslavement programs. But see, my challenge is to throttle it back. I mean, literally, I have no patience for the mental pygmies. Anytime anyone comes at me with any kind of anything that is remotely akin or related to that type of enslavement program, I have to throttle it back. I have no problem telling them straight up that they're evil, that they are the very face of evil on this planet, more so than any other type of enslavement, because that is the worst. That is the true inversion. That is the true evil on this planet, is what organized religion has done. And if you have not gotten that from my videos in the past, then now I'm telling you straight up. Yeshua not come to bring peace. I have no tolerance for these religious fundamentalist, Christian pygmy-minded, enslavement protocol idiots. My music was passion against all that crap. I saw the hypocrisy from a very early age. You and these Christians walking around arrogant, thinking that they're arrogant because we give them the power over our minds and souls. It's time to stop that crap and hold people accountable. All religion represents, it's just a story of spirituality, of another person's experience. They're allegories in the Bible. All Bibles represent are the records of our experiences with spirituality, people's experience with their spirituality. Religion and Bibles are only tools to help you experience what they are trying to teach you. It is not a tool to bang people over the head with and gaslight them and lie to them and keep them in line and create religious trauma syndrome in them. Like literally, I have despised. Those are the most evil, wicked people that are on the face of this earth, because they know they're lying. And if they don't know they're lying, they're just ignorant and they need to wake up. And I will wake you up. Trust me. Because I've dealt with all that programming. Crap's been jettisoned a long time ago. I am a warrior of God. And my weapons are my words, my truth, and my conviction, and the sound that issues therefore. Come at me. I will help you see the light. Trust me. Hit that subscribe button, because all religion and Bibles are only tools to help you experience what they are trying to teach you. A book about spirituality is not the actual spirituality. Organized religions have missed that point. I don't even think they missed the point. I think they purposely obscured that point to enslave people, because that's what they are, is enslavement protocols. I'm going to rattle some cages in the days ahead, shake a few trees, and confuse those who have never contemplated these things. There'll be a lot of people who unsubscribe from my channel. I get it. I see the fallout when I come off strong, but they're fearful, uneducated, and disinterested. Let them go on their way. But those of you who remain cautious and standing will hopefully benefit from this information dissemination broadcast in the days ahead from the Umbanda New Earth Ashram for compassion and strength, and telling it like it is to help those see the light. And you can take that to the bank. Namaste, namaskaram.